Welcome back to New Day Northwest. You all know we love a good book around here, but sometimes finding that next book is really hard. Where do you go for that answer? Well, here with the answer is our friend, librarian Misha Stone from the Seattle Public Library. Welcome to the show, and so good to meet you in person, in human form, like not on a screen.
You too, Amity. This is really brilliant, and thank you so much for having me on. It is so great to meet you. We've been talking about books for a couple years now, and online.
Online, and I have to say, every single time I talk with you, I get a new book that I love. So I'm really excited to talk about these spring reads. The first one up is Booth by Karen Joy Fowler.
Yes, so Karen Joy Fowler, who was a Seattle Reads author in 2016, her new book is a historical novel. It's a captivating look at the family of John Wilkes Booth. And she starts with a central question: what happens to love when the person you love is a monster? And she asks the question, too, of how did a family of actors and abolitionists raise the man who killed Abraham Lincoln? But it's not a novel about John Wilkes Booth. It's about his parents, his siblings.
Didn't he have a brother who was even more famous than him?
Yeah, he had a brother who was an actor. His father was an actor. And again, they were in many ways committed to abolition. So the fact that this happened and this happened to their family, it's just a brilliant, resonant, relevant novel that draws a line between our past and our present.
I can't wait to check this one out.
Yes.
The next one is The Cartographers by Peng Shepard.
Yes, so this is about a young woman, Nell Young, who is passionate about cartography. She follows in her famous father's footsteps, but something happens. She finds this map that her father says is a fake. He fires her. Her career dreams are dashed. But then 7 years later, they've not been in contact. Her father is found murdered in his office at the New York Public Library. The map he told her was a fake is found hidden in his desk, and all the other copies have been destroyed. There's some shadowy organization. Ooh. And a lot of mystery. This is a page turner.
Look, I have the chills.
I know.
I am excited for this one. The Cartographers. All right. Homicide and Hallow. What's this?
Yes. So if you missed Mia Manansala's debut culinary cozy mystery, Arsenic and Adobo, you can jump in here. I know, right? A lot of great food. But you're going to meet Lila, a Filipina woman who had just escaped a murder charge in the last novel, and her rambunctious restaurant-owning family. This, though, is set at a beauty pageant. And Lila was once a beauty contestant. She's a judge this year, but there's a threat made towards the beauty pageant. She has her own fraught relationship with the pageant, but wants to find out what happens. This is suspenseful and witty and sweet and just so wonderful.
Okay, I'm already like wanting to read all of these, but we've got more. So Saint Death's Daughter.
Yeah, sometimes you want something that's a little dark, a little strange, but whimsical, and this one delivers. It's about miscellaneous stones. That's her name, aka Lainey. And she is from a family of necromancers and assassins.
You did this for me.
I know. All of her family have the most delightfully weird names you'll ever discover. But what happens is that her parents are killed, her brutal and bossy sister returns, and her life just gets stranger. This is one of those books that's delightful and full of life, even though it dances with death.
I love it. I know she brought this for me because she knows I love me some urban fantasy. All right. Bittersweet by Susan Cain. Bittersweet, how sorrow and longing make us whole.
That's right. So this is the same author who brought us Quiet, which was about the introverts in a world of extroverts. This is also looking at human nature and why do we like songs that make us cry? Why do we like movies that will also bring tears to our eyes? And why, you know, when we have a world that tells us to chase happiness, we still need to connect with sorrow and longing in our lives. So she really pushes back on some of those notions that don't always serve us well, that prevent us from really thinking about different ways of being and seeing. And it's just another thought-provoking narrative nonfiction from Cain.
Well, what's really interesting is I had just been reading Brene Brown's newest book, and she defines bittersweet. And Brene Brown, she talks about definition of all emotions in her new book, and I believe she mentioned this book. And I see in the back that she's also given it a review. Because it really is a funny emotion, being bittersweet, right? I mean, it's all the things. It's sadness, it's happy, it's somewhere in between.
Right.
And I feel like understanding it would make me feel better.
Yeah, and for Brene Brown fans, this would be a perfect book as well, and they're definitely companions.
Can I ask you a question? Because I don't do this, but I know a lot of folks who do. Reading two books at the same time. Actually, I am doing that kind of. I have an audiobook and a fantasy book that I read. How important is that to kind of diversify while, put one down, pick the other one up?
I think that just like meeting the different moods you have as a reader is important, and maybe having something to pick up and put down when you're not in that mood, it can help you find that thing that really meets what you're needing in that moment.
Yes.
Not everyone can do it, but in many cases you need it just if you're maybe not connecting with the book at that time.
Absolutely. And one of the things I'm so grateful for when you were coming on through the pandemic, giving us these wonderful reads, it was a tough time. And I completely got lost in books because that was what I needed to do as a journalist at the time. So I'm just so grateful for you coming on and sharing this with us. I am going to definitely read all of these books.
Thank you, Amity. And many of these are going to be peak picks, so you'll be able to find them at many of our branches available right now.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.